Now, if my life was on the line and a dropshipping beginner asked me what would be the fastest way to make my first $10,000, $100,000, this would be it. Now, you might be wondering, well, what is this golden opportunity? And that is EU dropshipping. Now, I remember starting my first EU dropshipping store back in 2019, and since then I've achieved around about $5 million just selling in the EU. Now, don't even take my word for it. Look at my students and subscribers that message me showing me their Shopify dropshipping results, but those results are in the EU market and outside of the USA. Now, with all of that being said, in this video, I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can start your first dropshipping store in the EU and achieve your first $10,000, $100,000, even $1 million with this store. Now, before we get into the video, if you guys want a list of 100 current winning EU products, then once this video hits 1,000 likes, I'll leave it in the pinned comment and in the description below, and I'll also leave the step-by-step guide in that same sheet. Now, with that being said, guys, let's get into EU dropshipping. Now, this is a beginner store. His name was Inder, and he started this brand new store last year, and you can see from November till around about now, he's achieved way over $180,000. Now, if I scroll down and show you where the sales by session was done, you can see it was done in Australia, not in the USA. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because this was a legitimate beginner that's never really had success with dropshipping before. He tried selling out of the USA with a winning product from the USA, but then sold it into the Australian market, and he's able to achieve almost $120,000. Now, this was his first store where he was able to actually take away profit, and that was around about $20,000. Now, let me show you guys how to find a winning EU dropshipping product. Now, you want to come to a tool like Winning Hunter or any ad spy tool of your choice. And once you come here, you can filter it by Shopify. And then they've got these European winners pre-filter. Now, if yours doesn't have this, just filter it by European countries. Now, if you don't know what the best EU countries are to filter by, if you don't have this option, then I'll leave them in that cheat sheet once we hit 1,000 likes. There's 15 key EU countries that I'd recommend, and those will be in the cheat sheet if you don't have the EU filter already. Now, once you've done that, I changed the ad spend from $500 to $5,000. So I want to find early winning EU products so that I can scale them myself. So those are the spends. You can even take this up to 10,000 or 20,000. It's up to you. And now when you see these ads pop up, you're going to see at the bottom the countries that they're targeting. So you can see this one here is targeting the Netherlands, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, and Austria. So that's clearly an EU product. Now you can see this early winning dropshipping product ad here because the revenue is around about $5,000 for this ad, and they've spent $1,500. So this is what I call an early winner, which is what we're looking for. And it's being ran in the French market, and the ad is in French and the ad copy is. And this is one of the tricks that you can do that I'll be showing you later, which is basically running it in the native language. Most people will not run it in the native language, and that's why they don't make money. Now, because of the power of AI, doing it in the native language is so easy to do. So I'll be showing you that later on. But realistically, guys, all you're looking to do on these ad spy tools is look for early winning ads like this one and make sure the country that they're running it in is in either one of the EU countries. As long as they don't show like the USA, you're good to go. Now, this ad here is really interesting because it's doing well. It's done $1,900 in revenue, and the spend is really low. It's around about $600, and it's this dragon ring. And this was a winning product from back in the day that we would scale in the US market, but they're now trying to scale it in New Zealand, Sweden, Norway, and Germany. So this is very common where an old winning product from the US market, they will then show up in the EU markets later. And this is just proving my point. Now, if you already know about a few winning products from the USA market, see if they're being ran in the EU, and if they're not, that's also a very good idea to start selling. Now, another really good option to finding winning EU products is coming over to a website called Calo Data or Colo Data. Now, this is usually used for TikTok shops, but I also use it for the power of finding winning EU products. Now, what I do is I come over to Top New Products, and you can create a free account and get like 7 days for free, so you're not paying for anything. And once you've come here, you're going to see that in the last 30 days, within 3 days, these products are doing very, very well. Now, because I've filtered it by the United States, you can see here, these are called winning products, but they're in the USA. So these are currently making very good money, but in the USA market. Now you might be thinking, well, I thought we were meant to be doing EU dropshipping. Well, we're looking for a product in the US that's doing very, very well, but now we're going to look to see if we can find it being run in the EU. If it's not being run in the EU, there we go. That's our gold mine. So you can see here, I found this product here, which is called a window camera. So it's designed to be put on the window, which is really smart. Instead of having a normal camera, which is annoying because it doesn't capture the whole view, it's actually designed for the window. So let's see if a window camera is being ran in the EU markets. Now, the best way to find out if there are ads being ran in the EU countries is you can come back to the spy tool of your choice. My choice here is Winning Hunter, and type in the name of the product in the search bar, and then you can filter it by the countries. So these are the EU countries, and then you want to filter it by upscaling or either downscaling. Either one is fine, and as long as there's ads coming up, which in this case there isn't, there's these weird ads popping up, and usually when you see this, it means that there's not much information for the keyword that I've used, which means it's very unlikely that dropshippers at the moment in the EU are currently selling window cameras. Now, another way you can do it, but it just takes a little bit more time, is go into the ad library, again filtering by, let's say, one of the countries. Unfortunately, with the ad library, you can't do multiple countries at the same time. So in this instance, I've done France, window camera, it's not really showing up again. I've not got any good quality ads coming up for the window camera. They're all these weird ads. Now, in my look, by changing the filter multiple times in different countries on the ad library, from Belgium to other EU countries, I'm not finding anything. The same on Winning Hunter, I'm not finding anything either. Now, if you want the best deals on Winning Hunter and Calo Data, they'll be linked in the description with a coupon code, but this is the method that everyone uses to find the best quality products for the EU market. So before we move on to the next part of today's video, I want to talk about a Shopify app that everyone, and I mean everyone, should have installed, and it's called OmniSend. And OmniSend is an email marketing provider that you can use to then email your customers, whether it be abandoned carts, whether it be welcome series. And the great thing about OmniSend, your first 500 email customers will be completely free to use, so you won't have to pay to have them in OmniSend. Now, some other companies will charge you to have these people in your email list. Now, OmniSend is designed for e-commerce email marketing. They're not a one-stop solution for all of these industries. They are specifically designed for e-commerce email marketing. So the way they design their flows, the way they design everything is designed for an e-commerce business. Now, the reason why everyone should be using email marketing is because if you're spending money on Facebook ads, Google ads, or even influencer marketing, and people are coming to the site but not converting, then you need to reconvert them through email marketing. So if you're spending $1, you want to make sure you maximize everything you get out of that dollar. And by having email marketing set up correctly, you will make sure that you take advantage of that $1 you're spending or $10 you're spending on traffic. Now, we've generated almost $1 million in just email marketing, retargeting, and acquisition. So email marketing is every single e-com and dropshipper's responsibility to make sure they have installed. And with an app like OmniSend allowing you to have 500 customers for free, it makes sense. Now, I've even made a step-by-step free course on how to install OmniSend and set up the flows so you can start your welcome series, you can do your abandoned cart sequences, you can do a custom win back. I've gone through absolutely everything on that video. So I'll leave that video linked in the description, and if you want to use OmniSend, I'll also leave my exclusive link in the description so you can get the latest deal and offer through OmniSend. And I also want to say a massive thank you for OmniSend for sponsoring today's video. So now you guys have found a few EU winning dropshipping products based on what I've just taught you. You now need to look at your landing page. Now, this is on a Shopify store as usual, but the main difference is it's in German. Now, this is the same way I usually build my landing pages, the same format. The only thing I've changed, guys, is the language. So this is in German. The images are also in German. So what I've done is I've completely redesigned the landing page's ad copy into the native language. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's the benefit of changing it into the native language? Remember, if you're selling to one of these EU countries, sometimes the consumer prefers to see their ads in their native language. They don't want to see it in English, guys. Some people prefer it in native, some people will prefer it in English. But at the end of the day, I've noticed based on my own experience, giving them both options is so important. Now, an example of duplicating your pages is, first of all, in the product section on Shopify, you've got your product that you've created, and you can see here you can duplicate it, because what we're going to do is we're going to have one page in English, one page in the native language. So that way we can split test which is working the best. So the first thing you need to do is duplicate the actual product itself. Then once you've done that, you want to go to the actual template. So you can see this is my template. Now this is the English version, for example. What I would do here is I would go to default product. Then what you can do is under the product section, you can create a template so that it saves the same thing that you've just done here so that nothing changes. And then what you guys can do under the products is you can create that template and then duplicate this so that you've got the same page. And then what you're going to do is you're going to change all of the copywriting into the native language and obviously the images. Now I'm going to give you two methods to do this, guys. You can either use the ChatGPT method. So you're going to use this prompt. You are a native copywriter fluent in a certain language. Obviously that will depend on what markets you're looking to sell in. If you're looking to sell only in the French market, only in the German market, it's going to be that language they natively speak in. And an expert at Alex Hormozi's ADA copywriting framework, attention, insert, desire, action. I will give you the English product copy. Your job is to turn it simply into the ADA copy using Alex Hormozi style, strong hook for attention, logical emotion, desire driven, and clear. Then translate and rewrite it into that language that you want to choose in a conversational native tone that's clear, precise, and mistake-free, like a friend is recommending it. What you're trying to tell the ChatGPT here is you're trying to do it in a simple way for it to translate it, so that way it is the most accurate version of that native language. So that's option one, guys, and it's completely free to do it that way. Now, option two is you can use an app like Transstore Language Translator. So they use the power of AI natively within the app. Now, they have a free version, and I do believe there's a few paid tiers, and you can see here it does it all for you. So instead of you messing around with ChatGPT, you can just use this app to do it for you. So that's the pro of using the app. Now, you might be wondering if I'm going to be running my ads to multiple EU countries, like the top 15 that I recommend, then what do I do? Because there's going to be loads of different languages. Then you would just run it in English. But I'm saying if you really just want to dial into just one country, then this is the best option. Now you might be wondering, well, what is the better option? One country, native, or doing the top 15 that you recommend in the EU? And in my opinion, guys, I think split testing is the best. So if you start with the top 15 countries that I'd recommend in the EU and you see that only one is really doing well or only two of them are doing really well, then go all in with that one country and then make it native. So start broad, make yourself go in slowly on that one country. Could be France, German, and then you're going to create that product just for that market because you started with the top 15 EU countries, you figured out what markets working the best for it, and then you're dialing in. Now, the next thing that you definitely want to do on your Shopify store whilst doing this is come to the general section and you want to go to where it says store defaults and you want to change from being in the US dollar to euro. Now, remember, the most common currency in the EU is going to be the euro. The next thing that you guys want to make sure you've done is under markets, you've created a new market and you want to call it EU, and you're going to select all the EU countries or the top 15 that I recommend, and you want to add the market. Unless you add them under the market section, you won't be allowed to take orders from the EU. So make sure you come here and add it so that you can sell to the EU market. Now, when it comes to the best supplier to use for the EU markets, you can still stick to Zendrop. Zendrop's my favorite supplier for dropshipping. And when you come to Zendrop and you look for the product that you want to sell, for example, this is the window camera that I found, then what you can do is when you find that product, you go to where it says shipping and you select the country, and they could be some of the EU countries. You can see Switzerland, Sweden, Spain. You select it and it will tell you what the rate will be for that specific country. And you can see for me to get my dropshipping product to the EU, to the Netherlands, it's going to take 9 days. Now to the US, it's actually a few more days longer. So you can see to the United States, it's 10 days. So it's an extra 2 days to get my product there. And with the Trump tariffs going on, it's going to be even more expensive. So you can see the benefits of selling to the EU. And when it comes to suppliers, guys, Zendrop can do all of this for you with no issues. And if they haven't got a product that you want on Zendrop because they use their Zendrop fulfillment method to get the fastest times for shipping, you can request a product by adding the Shopify link or the AliExpress link, adding how many units, so it'll be 0 as a drop shipper, and then you can get a custom quote, and it takes within around about a few days to get a reply, sometimes even a few hours, and then you'll find out what it's going to cost and how much it's going to be to send the product to that country and the shipping times. Now let's talk about the video ads and the image ads that you're going to create for Facebook ads or TikTok ads and how to do it correctly. Now you've got a few options here, guys, and it's very similar to the store style. So if you find competitors' videos that you like, that you want to clip and use for yourself, but again, you're only using small sections of their videos, you can just export their video, go to CapCut and auto-generate captions. And then once you've auto-generated those captions, you can then use the AI prompt that I've given you here to give you those native captions again. You then upload them, then you can auto-caption them in the native language. Now, when it comes to image ads, if you've been using, let's say, Canva or AI like ChatGPT and it's recreated that image for you, like I've shown you on this channel, then you're gonna basically prompt it back by saying, I need it in English. You use the prompt that I've given you on the sheet, and then it will resend it you in the correct language. And I know this works because I literally just showed you a store that I made for a demo account and showed you the images being translated in German, and it's using the structure that I'm showing you here with the prompt. Now, when it comes to the Facebook ad strategy or the TikTok ad strategy, you're probably thinking, well, does it change? No, it doesn't change. The only thing that you have to change is the locations that you're putting your ads to be placed in. So when it says countries you want to target, you're going to select the top 15 EU countries, or if you want to go for a specific country, you select that country. Now, you might be watching this thinking that takes a lot more work, but if you guys want the honest answer, if you want the better results, then it is going to require the harder work. Now, if you guys want my full step-by-step Facebook ad strategy, I literally dropped a free dropshipping course a few months ago. It's over an hour long. I'll leave a link in the description so that you can check it out, and it'll take you directly to that time in the free course where I talk about the Facebook ad strategy. Now, with that being said, guys, this is how you can hit your first $10,000 or $100,000 or even $1 million with EU dropshipping. If you've got any questions or any thoughts, let me know in the comment section below. If you found it valuable, also let me know, and don't forget to get this video to 1,000 likes so you can get 100 winning EU dropshipping products and the full step-by-step guide. With that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.